Hi, welcome to the Grow Hub. Today I'm here with Ben from EndoSan and he's going to talk us through the brilliant range.
Thanks for this opportunity.
Alright, so EndoSan, what's it do?
EndoSan. Endo means from within, sanitisation, san. EndoSan, we're about a clean green hit to the water system.
So you are about purifying water and I have heard you do it in quite a clever way.
We're all about clean water. We say that every good water application starts with pure water, clean water. I think that the best yield will come from good water. The best growing results will come from good water.
Well, you've hit the nail on the head there. It's all about growing for us. So you've got 4 products here. And as you said, clean water is key. Everyone knows that. We have RO in the industry. Obviously, people want to move away from chlorination. Does EndoSan solve that problem?
Yeah, we would say it's the next generation of water disinfection. Chlorination has been used for over 150 years.
Yeah.
It's used from human drinking water, animals, from agriculture, hydroponics.
Yeah.
What we like to do is present a new way of doing things, new chemistry. EndoSan's all about peroxide, H2O2.
Okay, I think I know peroxide from that time I dyed my hair, sadly.
Let's not talk about hair today. I think that where there's a common misconception is the amount of peroxide needed in order to disinfect. Obviously, peroxide can be, if you look up the use of peroxide, you'll find so many fantastic applications.
Yeah.
When it comes to using peroxide in disinfection of water, we've got very low ppms, safe levels of ppms which won't affect the actual plant itself, but enough to keep the bad bacteria at bay. Okay,
so going back to the chlorine thing, obviously chlorine is awful, essentially, right? I mean, we understand why it was used in the past, but this is the next step, right?
Yeah, we're talking about a really green chemistry.
Yeah.
H2O is obviously what we're trying to disinfect.
Yeah.
And we're treating it with H2O2.
Okay.
That's an extra oxygen radical, and so that oxygen molecule is going crazy cleaning. The difference between what we've got here and standard H2O2 is that we stabilise that effect.
Okay.
So it will last a long time.
So that's it, yeah, H2O2 by itself deteriorates over time, but what you guys have got here is stabilised H2O2.
Correct.
That's pretty, as you said, radical.
It is radical. People have started to use it across the industry. We've got some fantastic data.
Yeah.
And we're trying to make it such that people can pick up either one of these 2 product ranges and use it specifically for what it's needed. So here you're looking at an 8% peroxide, stabilised peroxide, which would be used to treat water, and whereas opposed to the 3%, which is ready to use, and it would be across surfaces and equipment.
So with the 8%, I am adding that consistently to my water in low dose rates to get the best water possible across my grow?
Spot on. Spot on.
Cool.
And obviously, depending on what type of crop and depending on what's going on in the water and what you're trying to achieve, there will be different dose rates, and that we try to advise and support, and also learn from our clients as well as to how it's best used.
We've basically got here a way of making the water the best that it can be, right?
Yeah.
I've also heard that it can be used for cleaning.
It can.
So with that, at the end of my grow cycle, you're gonna, or I always clean out my tent, and clean grow room is it like instrumental. At the end, I like to clean. Usually I give it a sweep, I give it a bit of a spray.
So it depends whether you're cleaning or clean.
Okay.
Right? So we might want to call it super clean.
Okay.
In this instance, you could bathe the actual equipment in it.
So my pumps?
Yeah, pump. Well, not the electrical equipment, but everything around the pump.
Yeah.
So you could basically leave it in over a period of time. It's non-corrosive.
Yeah.
So what we're looking at here is log 3, log 4, log 5 kill, depending on what we're trying to actually
that is
get
super,
rid of.
super clean.
Yeah, it's not the sort of stuff that the result that you'd see from a household clean. You're talking about a much higher level of clean. And that is really where you'll see the effects. People don't think necessarily that going for such a high level of clean is going to make a difference, but we can assure you that everything we know about water suggests that the highest level of clean will give you the best possible outcome.
In this industry, I think it's known it's garbage in, garbage out. So any level of control you can offer us is like seriously fantastic and is seriously welcome. So I know getting that extra bit of clean is going to essentially push my results the way I want them to go.
We think that the sort of volume that's needed typically in disinfecting equipment, dosing the water, spraying on the surfaces, however this is used is in such low volume that actually financially it doesn't actually put any kind of burden on the cost of production, but also it's such a low-hanging fruit in terms of what's available out there that it would be silly not to try it.
So if I put it in the water, what am I going to be solving? I guess it's going to be biofilm, and it's going to be...
Well, bacteria, you're reducing the bacteria, you are basically making the water more wholesome. The thing is that chlorination does kill bacteria in water. We know that. It's not the best, but it does work. What it doesn't do is get to the root of the problem. The root of the problem is in the biofilm. That was not on purpose. It does get to the bottom of the problem in terms of the biofilm. The biofilm is where the bacteria is coming from. And this is really going to the issue there.
Cool. I've heard it said they can be used for Pythium, it can be used for Botrytis, it can be used for powdery mildew.
There's every reason to suggest, based on the case studies that we have, and that those that know what the chemistry can do, that it will deal with those issues.
I have seen the case studies, and that's why I bring it up, because in our industry that is game changing, to be honest. If we can solve those problems, and I think we can, then that's fantastic.
Where you see black marks in terms of bacteria growing on sides of buildings, where those spores are free flowing across the room in in humid temperatures. This is really where it will take effect. It's a bactericide, it's a fungicide, an algicide, a sporicide. It's doing work all around the room, and it will reduce those issues.
The benefit of not adding chlorine into my tomatoes. What about fogging? So I know that it can be used as a spray, I know it can be used as an additive, I know it can be used to prevent problems, I know it can be used to solve problems if, unfortunately, they occur. Fogging?
Fogging, it can be used for a variety of uses. So we've talked about the surface, we've talked about in water, and fogging, it can be used to be fine mist. We don't want to make sure it's too wet within the room with peroxide, but you can certainly use this. It's used in many different industries. Egg hatcheries, we're using for egg disinfection. We're using it on board ships to actually reduce bacteria for humans when they're on a confined space for a long period of time. And hospital wards as well. This is used for ensuring that humans have a very clean environment, we hope.
It has been used in farming.
Indeed.
So we're talking food. I'm not talking about cleaning the cow pen. Are we talking this is good enough to eat?
We are busy. We're busy from farm to fork, as they say. And basically, you've got where the produce is being grown, right the way through from the food processing industry, right the way through to the actual supermarkets and the handling of the product. We need to ensure that this chemistry is acceptable within the food industry. And we have very much found that's the case. And there are clear guidelines to ensure that the appropriate dose rates are followed in a safe order. Well, there are countries around the world now drinking this EndoSan chemistry, right? And they're not drinking it pure, don't worry. But it's certainly dosed into the chlorine, and it's safe. It's safe for human consumption, and therefore it's safe to be in the food chain.
If I was going to grow, say, tomatoes, would this affect the flavour of the tomatoes? Because that's a big concern with things like chlorine. Anything harsh, it's going to, I think, end up affecting my final flavour, and that's a big deal to me.
It is a big deal, and certainly a question asked many times, because we are treating many different types of agricultural crop. This has got no smell, no taint, no taste, and it won't affect any of those things either.
Brilliant. So I'll be able to taste my tomatoes. Okay. So just run me through the actual products that we've got here. Is this what I can buy in the shops?
Indeed. Split into two. We've got EndoSan 8. You have basically the 1 litre, which would be used to disinfect a water system or the equipment itself. Diluted down to very, very low ppms.
Cool.
And then there's a larger volume of the same thing, as a 5 litre of the same EndoSan.
Exactly the same product.
Exactly the same product, just in a slightly bigger container.
Cool.
Then we have ready-to-use EndoSan 3. That's a surface disinfectant and also equipment you can spray. And this is available in the trigger spray, 500ml, and then a refill 5 litre kind of stuff.
So I'll buy the spray and then I can top it up. You said I could use it in the fogger. What would I use in the fogger?
Actually, it's the same product in concentration. So you can actually use it either in the fogger, but you need to ensure that the strength of the chemistry is appropriate to the size of the room, to the level of humidity, and type of fogging unit and equipment, and obviously the produce that's being fogged. But you could actually use either, and we'll be able to support either product for fogging.
So I know I've mentioned it before, and I don't mean to be a bore, but powdery mildew is a big thing. I lose, and I've seen a lot of people lose tomatoes to powdery mildew. How can I use this to stop that? Is it literally a case of me going into a shop, picking up this bottle, going home and spraying it on?
There is no one solution,
Okay.
right? But certainly not a board for me to be able to tell you that EndoSan can be sprayed for powdery mildew and will have some very positive effects.
Brilliant.
We hope to see some great results in that respect.
Cool. That is, I mean, truly kind of game changing. It's the bane of many people's lives.
Let's try and make people's lives easier with this stuff.
This is EndoSan. It's available now. It's truly brilliant. It's truly revolutionary. It's better than anything else on the market. It's stronger. It's more affordable. I've used it. I rate it, and I hope to try it. Thanks, man.